Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Cherry Tree Lane panel quilt. Come on inside and join me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Cherry Tree Lane panel quilt. Wow, what a fun quilt along this is. So if you're just joining us, this is a 4-week quilt along. The quilt along is totally free. We have a free community on the Sew a Story website. You'll want to grab your pattern. This is a pretty fun special panel pattern that has piece blocks all the way around. You can get it as a digital download from, you can purchase it at the Sew a Story shop. You can get it from your favorite quilt shop, and there are some quilt kits available throughout the world. Lots of people have been, lots of shops have been kitting it. We had some kits we did sell out at Sew a Story, but we are doing reservations for more coming. So if you are wanting that, you'll make sure to grab yours as well. So welcome everyone to week 2. This week we are focusing on how we're breaking up the quilt is week 2. We are focusing on everything on land. So everything on Cherry Tree Lane. So the houses, the lamp posts. And then week 3, we'll be doing the things in the air, the hot air balloon and the little kites. And then 4, we're putting it all together. So we're going to work through it a little bit here together and talk through the pattern and how it is structured. So if you don't have your quilt kit yet, or you're going to be using your own panel and your own fabric stash, you can just come ahead and make sure you have everything cut that you need. The pattern is done in 2 ways. We have fabric requirements inside the pattern that if you're swapping anything out, you can just know what fabric A is, fabric B. And then I always do all of the cutting laid out, so you have all the cutting laid out at once. If you wanted some of the, like to cut block by block, I also have the cutting for each block on the pages, so it looks like this. So it's really easy to follow depending on how your style is of construction. If you're looking specifically for this panel, I know we do have some in our shop still at Sew a Story, so you can grab the panel and get started right away. Okay, so a few things you're going to want to know is at the very beginning of the pattern, before you start sewing, there are the 2 methods. The first method is the stitch and flip and the 1 at a time half square triangle method. So you're going to find both of those methods right here, and you're going to be using those to do your houses. I mean, a lot of it is straight piecing, but the corner here is stitch and flip. So I want to give you a couple of tips and tricks here when you're doing those, but I would love for you to read through this. This part over here, 1 at a time, half rectangle triangle, is you're not going to need that until next week. So we'll go through that in video 3. But for video 2, let's talk about these stitch and flip and 1 at a time, half square triangles. Okay, once you read through this and you understand how to do them, it's basically just straight sewing and trimming and cutting. So really, really easy. A couple tips and tricks, especially when working with small pieces like you are over here, is I love to starch my fabric before. So you don't have to starch your fabric. I just love giving it a little bit of extra stability so that it isn't stretching when you are sewing crossways on the fabric from corner to corner. I also like to press a lot, and I also don't pre-wash my fabric. Now, the jury's out. If you want to pre-wash your fabric, please go ahead and do that. Just make sure that you maybe do give it a little bit of starch again, or at least press it there. It's going to make your piecing quite a bit more accurate. Another thing to notice in the patterns when you're piecing these together is that we give you the finished size. So like, it's called unfinished, but the size of each section where it should finish at. So for example, when you sew, when you assemble the lamps, when you sew 2 GG rectangles and 1 F rectangle together, and then you cut the strips, you should end up with, you make 4 at 18 by 3. So it says at the bottom of everything what the measurements are, and that's just a little guide to sort of like help you Make sure that you're on the right track with all of your pieces, but I would recommend cutting this. You're going to have the best success if you do measure it. Sometimes when we do stitch and flip, we don't exactly do it right on the line. Maybe we didn't draw the line. Maybe we stretched when we pressed. We really stretched instead of pushing down with the iron. And so this way it just makes everything nice and accurate, because if you're off by an eighth of an inch and an eighth of an inch and an eighth of an inch over the whole lane, the cherry tree lane, that's going to add up to maybe even an inch. So you want to make sure that that you are checking that. Also, don't trim your panel yet. If you haven't yet, I wouldn't trim it yet, because if you didn't trim, like if you're a little bit off here, this is where you're going to get that forgiveness. Okay. So, I mean, you can also get it in your sashing, but you can easily get it from your panel when we measure and put that all together in week 4. A couple of important tips and tricks there for you. Then you just follow through all of the instructions. So I'm going to send assign to you. We do house block 1. We're doing the lamppost. You can do house block 2. They're very similar. We've also put cute little illustrations from the collection in there. So I would go up to page 14. I would stop, well, right, basically where this, no, not where the staples are, but I would stop before you get to page 15, which is the balloon block. We're going to do this one next week. So you can choose whichever fabrics. If you're using any fabrics that are directional, like the plaid is a little bit, you could want to try and match the plaids if you want to, but or not worry about it at all. I do want to also share some like fun tips and tricks if you haven't cut yet. All of these windows here are a perfect opportunity to do what? Fussy cut. Yes, it's a perfect opportunity to fussy cut some of the main prints. So I purposefully put main print here, the white main print. This one has the pink main print in it, the champagne one, and then this one has the teapots. This one has the green main print. This one has the kites because it's with the kites flying over it. So have fun. Have a lot of fun with all of the illustrations in this collection, especially if you're using A Spoonful of Sugar fabric. There's so much delight in there that it's just a lot of fun to like play with your fabrics and the placement there. The houses, the roofs are all, some of them more blenders, so you don't have to worry too much about fussy cutting those. But yeah, go ahead and have lots of fun with those windows in there. All right, a couple other things is I would love you to come into the community and maybe show us some of the fussy cutting that you're doing. I'd love for you to come on over there. The community is totally free, even if you don't have this yet or you've purchased it but it hasn't arrived or you're on pre-order. Come into the community, introduce yourself, maybe talk about, last week we talked about our memories from this story, so maybe share where you're going to use this quilt. Are you going to make just this top for a table runner? Are you going to make the whole thing? Maybe somebody's making this into a pillow. I'd love to know your use, if you have one in mind, or if it's going to be a gift. I would love, love, love to know that. So this is week 2. My name is Jennifer Long from Sew Story. I am an early years educator turned Riley Blake fabric designer. This collection is called Practically, oh no, it's Practically Perfect. That's a block of the month. This collection is called A Spoonful of Sugar, and it is so much fun. I have the main print down here, so I wanted to grab it for you here. Like, look how full it is. So you have so much opportunity to really do have fun with the fussy cutting in the window there. So that is my challenge to you, to have so much fun doing that. Come on over and share what you're making. And if you aren't already on our newsletter, we'd love for you to be on the Sew a Story newsletter. We have so many great things happening. We have lots of things happening in the new year. And if you wanted to get into this Practically Perfect block of the month, and then once it started, realized you couldn't, yes, that is how we do our paid block of the month. So we want them to feel really special, and everyone's coming along the way, and everyone's starting at the same point. So we have another block of the month coming up. It's called Stocking Stuffers. There's only a few kits in one of the colorways left, actually. So if you are interested in that, I would highly suggest you, if you've been thinking about it, I highly suggest you hop on, because once it starts on July 1st, those doors close. And then that also means that anything that's pre-ordered for 2027, we were talking about on the live yesterday, we were talking about the doll panel of the month, the dolls panels of the month. We were talking about hometown heroes. So those are football, American football, baseball, and hockey quilts and things that are also on for pre-order. And then the Enchanted. I don't have it right here, but the Enchanted using Storybook Basics. If you're wanting any of those, I would highly suggest that you get your name on the list so that you make sure that you are part of the Sew a Story experience. So thank you all so much for being here. As always, I cannot wait to see what you create with story-filled sewing here at Sew a Story. I'm just so blessed and honored to be here. Thank you from my heart. And let's get creating the Cherry Tree Lane panel quilt and have a lot of whimsical fun together. All right. Come on into the community and share on social media. I'd love to retag you and post you as well. Okay. Bye for now, everyone.